Hi, this is Dana Diorsi from Best Life Solutions with this week's video success strategy. And these videos are all about inspiring and empowering you to intentionally design and live your ideal life. So this week I would like to talk with you about task management. This is something that I see many of my clients struggling with. I often find that they end up spending the bulk of their time in reactive mode as opposed to being more strategically proactive in their businesses, in their careers, and in their lives. And so I'd like to share with you what I have seen as the 9 most common mistakes I've seen people making and how you can avoid them. So the first mistake I see people make is pretty basic. It's that they don't have a system at all for task management. They don't have one specific process that they use to take all of the incoming inputs that are coming in and organize them. And you can go on Amazon, you can look in the bookstore, there are tons of different systems that you can use out there. The most important thing is to find one that works for you, that works with your own personality, with your own style. Are you someone who prefers to organize things electronically or on paper, or how do you work best? So I would recommend getting out there and researching different task management systems and finding one that really works for you, or one that at least works the bulk for you, and you can kind of customize it with little tweaks as appropriate. One resource I will recommend that I really like in this area is the book Getting Things Done by David Allen. I've really found a lot of his suggestions to be valuable. So I would recommend you check that one out. The second mistake I see a lot of people make is that they have to-do lists, but they're all scattered in different forms. So they might have something on their computer to organize their projects. They might have a daily to-do list, a running ideas list in their notebook, different scraps of paper with things they need to buy at the store. And so everything's kind of jumbled and all over the place. So I really recommend that someone have one master location that they put all of their to-dos on. So this could be, I personally use an electronic system because I find that easier to manage. So I use within my Google Gmail and Google Calendar, I use the Google Tasks to organize mine. And it's something where I put everything. I put the things I need to do on a daily basis, things that are a little bit further off, anything I need to buy at the store, just everything in one central location so I can always locate it. Third, I see a lot of people sometimes capture items on their to-do list as a project as opposed to at the task level. So it's really important to differentiate. So if you put something on your to-do list like create website, that's going to be really difficult to execute, right? So you really need to have a separate project management system. So this is just task management, where you break out your projects by all of the tasks and then input those tasks into your task management system so they're doable. You can look at it and know what the immediate next step you need to do for that project is. Fourth, I see that a lot of people may have a master to-do list, but they're not organizing their to-dos by context. So what does that mean? I like to organize my to-dos by what environment I'm in when I'm doing them. So I have a list of people that I need to email, so I know when I have my computer on, that's something I can do. I have a list of phone calls. I have a list of things that I need to do at home, in my home. I have a list of errands, so when I'm out, I can quickly look at those. I have a list of people that I'm waiting on, so emails I might have sent out, or people I'm waiting for a call back, so I can just keep track of who I'm waiting on so I don't miss that feedback loop of getting back to them, and I can always ping them if they haven't gotten back to me. So I like to break it out by context, and what that's great for is if you find yourself with like 15 extra minutes at some point, you think about like where you are, what you can do. Do you have access to a telephone? Do you have a computer? Do you have internet access? Are you at home, not at home, in the car, wherever you are? And you can kind of very quickly look and see what you could get done quickly. And you don't have to sort through a massive to-do list of 100 things to figure out what you're able to do at that particular moment. So I like that particular tip myself. Fifth, I find that a lot of times people are not clear on what their strategic priorities and goals are, so that they're able to prioritize their tasks and figure out what is most important to them. So it's very important to have your long-term vision in mind. Figure out, when you're forced to make a decision on which task to work on, really be able to think about what is going to make the biggest difference in the long run in your business, in your life, in your career. And also, looking at urgency and deadlines and looking at those things together to make decisions of prioritization. So the next thing I see people doing a lot is not assigning a specific time to work on their tasks. So they might put something in their to-do list and they'll put the deadline of when it's due, but they don't actually schedule in when they're going to do it. So it's really important to block out time for your important to-dos and your important projects to get those things done. And it's also important to be very careful about estimating appropriately how long something will take you. So that you can schedule that time appropriately. So one thing I like to recommend to people, if there are certain tasks that they do on an ongoing basis, maybe it's writing a blog article or putting together a 1-hour teleseminar, or it could be making up your grocery list. It could be anything. But see, when you're doing something on a repeated basis, calculate how long it takes you. Does it take you 15 minutes to do it normally, an hour and a half? Time yourself a couple of times doing it, and then you know how much time you really do need to build into your schedule when you're blocking those times off. And that will also help with the next thing I see people do, which is to put too many things on their daily to-do list. So I will just raise my hand here and I will say that I have done this many times in the past. I tend to be an overachiever and I get overambitious and I think I'm going to accomplish like 20 different things in one day, and it never happens. And all it really serves to do is make you feel disappointed at the end of the day when you haven't gotten some of those things done, even if you've gotten the critical few done. So I recommend less is more. So to pick 3 to 5 really big things that you want to work on for the day, figure out what the priority order is, and then tackle them one by one. And to work something through to completion. That's very important before you jump into the next thing. The next thing, and this is very, very common that I see people do, is to use their email inbox as their to-do list. So they get up in the morning, they open up their computer, they see what has come into their email box, and they kind of use that as what they're going to prioritize and focus on during the day. And I love this quote by Brendon Burchard, who I just love and adore. I think he's such a wise person. But if I remember the quote correctly, it's beware of your email inbox. It is really just a convenient tool for organizing other people's priorities. And really, and I don't think I got that 100% accurate, but that's the gist of it. And that's really what it is when you think about it. Anything that's coming into your email box is usually something that's on someone else's agenda. And if you start your day by focusing on fielding those emails, you're not going to get to what is really strategically most important to you. And that's where your priority should be. Certainly you need to be responsive to other people in their emails, but not at the expense of your own priorities. So that's really important. And then the last thing I see people do is separating their business to-dos from their personal to-dos. And for me, in this day and age, I think it's all so gelled together. It's all morphed for me. I think especially for women, we have a lot of things we need to attend to with our families, and I like to keep them all in one place because I find there are times during the workday where I can take 5 minutes and make a personal phone call, especially since a lot of doctors' offices and things like that are only open during office hours. And then there are times at night when I take work and I do it at my own convenience, after the kids are in bed, and that's a great quiet time for me to write and get things done. So there's really a blurring of the lines for me between work and personal time, and personally that works for me. So I like to keep all of my to-dos in one place. So I hope you liked this week's success strategy of my 9 most common task management mistakes I see people making. If you did, I would love to hear your comments below this video. You can just write in your comments, let me know what you thought. And if you have any other mistakes you've seen other people make or any other tips, I'd encourage you to share those as well. And if you're not already on the list to get these videos on a weekly basis, please go to my website at best-life-solutions.com and enter your name and email in the upper right hand corner, and you'll get added to the list to get this weekly inspiration and motivation delivered to your inbox. So until we talk again, this is Dana D'Orsi from Best Life Solutions, encouraging you to dream bigger, play smarter, and take bold action to create your most extraordinary life today.